Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Ordinary Gamer Show from TheOrdinaryGamer.com. It is me, EC Rooster, finally back with the always wonderful Mr. Ender the Foe. How you doing, Ender?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I am great. We have been away for 2 weeks. It's not because we're having a lover's quarrel. I know everyone out there probably thinks that. Actually, it is. We don't like each other. I don't know why. We have to try to have a professional relationship, but deep down, we're just like, I don't like that guy.
For the kids. For the
Yeah,
kids.
we do it for the kids. We stay together for the kids. But yeah, I've been good. I have been
What have you
busy
been doing?
with band stuff, playing a lot of shows. For those of you out there who don't know, I am a douchebag lead singer in a band, and I'm talking like straight up douchebag. I'm like Axl Rose and like I'm all of them. I don't even just call it. I'm all lead singers meshed together. I'm really bad. Anyways, it's good to be back playing some games. I'm playing the Swapper, but I'm not going to be playing it because I don't want to play. I'm tired of playing video games and talking. I can't do it. It's just the worst thing in the world for me. It is like
I'm gonna go over the gameplay, the audio, and add some awesome gameplay from us from a later point in time.
oh yeah, it's gonna be the greatest gameplay you'll ever see because when we do them separately, as everyone knows, we're the best at what we do. We are we're the top notch. We're the best gamers when we're not talking, and we're the best talkers when we're not gaming. But we can't do them together. We're mediocre when it comes together. Anyways, let's get to gaming. It's been 2 weeks off. I'm trying to get back into rhythm here. Unreal Engine 4. There's a lot of news actually that has happened, but Unreal Engine 4 is now free. It became free on March 2nd. This is how long it has been since we've had our last episode. Apparently, after the first 3,000 is made, there will be a 5% royalty fee on gross to be paid every quarter to the Unreal guys. And I think it was kind of cool. They just said here. They put it out there. They posted on their website or their blog. They said, "Here's the Unreal Engine. Go out there and make a game. We don't care. We're not charging you to use it anymore." They just want to see what people can do. I thought it was pretty cool of them. You have any
So they
opinion on
have
that?
they have a new engine, right?
This is their new engine. The Unreal Engine 4 it's free.
Oh no,
It's
I thought it was three that was free, or am I wrong?
oh no, it's 4. They've
Oh
decided.
wow.
Now they did have where people were paying, but they're gonna like retro actively give that money back. So everyone's gonna get like a stipend or something who had already paid for their monthly subscription fee or something like that. I don't have all the
That's
info in
pretty
front
cool.
of me, but I thought it was really cool because, I mean, when in my it's kind of what Tesla did with their patents. Where it's this idea of if you give people the information, let them tinker in their garage, essentially, give them the ability, the tools, who knows what they can make. And when great things are made, there's a lot of money to be had. And since they're doing it on a royalty, like after like so, if you make a great game on the Unreal Engine 4, after your first 3,000 is made, you just pay them a 5% royalty. But if you make the next Call of Duty, you know, 5% royalty fee is a lot of money to be made every quarter. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? In the big grand scheme, it's really cool. I love when companies do this. I love when companies take their IPs or their anything that they own the patents to, and they give them to the world, and they say, here's a limited license. Essentially, you can freely experiment and do whatever you want. That's what Tesla Motors did with their patent for the electric car. I don't have the exact information, but I think it's great. I think it's a great thing. I think it's really cool of them. I think it's great for people who want to learn. Like some guy out there probably wants to learn how to make a game, and now he can have like a real studio's engine. Like
Engine.
you can
Yeah.
really see what and learn a lot. And or a girl, I shouldn't say just guy. Don't want to be sexist.
Hey, there was this guy that wanted to be a game developer for Bethesda, the guys that made Skyrim. So he went out and actually made an entire section like of Skyrim, like an entire story and everything, and it looked like it was part of Skyrim. You would have sworn it was DLC. It
Oh
looked
yeah,
so
yeah. I
much
remember
like
reading about
Skyrim.
that. See that's what's so cool. Like it's so cool. Like gaming is one of those rare things that it's always had a modding community. It's always had this it's always been based on the community more so than other businesses where they try to pretend like they have a community, but really you're just a customer. Like with gaming, they've always they talk to you. They listen to what you say. They take your feedback. They update their games to what gamers want and things like that. It's always been a very close knit community. It's one of the great things about gaming, which I think people need to understand, which is why so many people are drawn to it, especially young men. It's like, you know, it's a community. It's nice to have and especially today's world, which is so fast, so distant. You know, when you have the ability to have a community, it's great. And yeah, when you have a
Yeah.
guy like, and so to bolster that community, they let the community pretty much design the game sometimes themselves. Yeah, like you said with that guy. Now, granted, he was doing that to get a job, but I mean, what a great way to what a great application. You don't come in and say,
Yeah,
"Oh,
I hope it
I went to
works.
this university." You go, "Here's what I actually can do. Look, check this out." And they go, "Wow, we still can't offer you a job, but that was great." No,
Call me when you get a degree.
yeah, you still got to go to school, you loser. Get out of here. What do you think this is? Gaming? I don't. That. You can tell I'm really rusty. My jokes are just off. But yeah, that's some old news. We're gonna go through the old news. I don't know if I have it in order, but GTA 5 Heist, probably more anticipated than any actual game that has come out in this past month. Like I read more stuff about the heist coming out for GTA 5 than I heard about Bloodborne, than I've heard about the Nintendo stuff. Like this is I've heard more people about Heist, and it came out, and I don't have GTA 5. I don't think you do either, right, Ender?
No, no. GTA was. I mean, they're cool for what they are. They just never really been my thing, you know. I like to slap a bitch as much as every other guy, and you know, jack somebody's car as much as any other guy. But after about 30, 45 minutes, it's okay.
See, we were talking about this earlier. Like the last GTA I ever played was Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. That's how how old I am, and B, like how much I've cared about the game. It's still like the best-selling game though. Like GTA 5 was like the best-selling game ever.
Oh
And
yeah.
and Heist obviously because it was best-selling game, and Heist is like really huge right now. People really talk about it. My problem with GTA is I think it's great for a 15-year-old. I think it's a great learning tool about the world for a 15-year-old. But when you get older like me, I just don't have the patience. You mentioned it earlier. You said driving across the map to complete your mission and know you're gonna have things thrown at you the whole way. I'm like you. I just don't have the patience for that anymore. If I can't beat like a mission or a level in 2 tries, I usually rage quit. I usually go and like do something. I go outside. That's how bad it has become when a gamer leaves their room and I go outside and look at birds and like talk to nature. If I can't beat a level in 2 tries, that's how mad I get. And GTA, was one of those games that it was cool when you drive across the map and then you fail and you're like, whatever, I don't have nothing else to do. I'm not getting laid. I don't have friends. But now I'm still not getting laid. I still don't have friends, but I still like to pretend that I can do those things. So when I lose a level, yeah, I just can't drive across a map over and over and over again. I get so bored. But yeah,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah. I feel the same way.
that's not to knock the game because here's the thing: my brother has the heist, and I have watched him play it. Well, actually, I've heard him play it. He yells. My brother's very. If you ever play with him, he curses a lot, and he shouldn't because he's like 15. And this is just tells you how much how much of a good guide I am to him because I just allow it. I'm like whatever, I don't care. Just don't do it in front of old ladies. But he
Don't need
curses a
my
lot.
Cheetos.
Oh yeah, he's in there just throwing stuff, yelling at people. I've heard him say some crazy. I didn't know my brother had the vocabulary actually that he has. It's very colorful, and I didn't know he was creative with his cursing the way he is either. Calling people like cunt biscuits and things like that. Not to, I've never heard that. I was just very impressed, but he was calling somebody something like that. But I came in there like scared. I was like, oh my god, is somebody breaking the house beating him up? He's just playing Heist. But it looks so fun. It actually did look like a blast. So now I'm really tempted to go buy GTA 5 just to play Heist. It's so lame.
It sounds like I say that about Grand Theft Auto in general, but Heist sounds like something completely different, like a cool multiplayer, almost like a Destiny-ish kind of experience or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
But
4-player co-op, and it's really cool.
yeah, I just missed the bus on it. I mean, they should have dropped that when it came out. If they would have dropped that when the game came out, explained what it was and everything, then I'd have been like, okay, yeah, it's on my radar. I'll probably buy that. Check it out. But they just talk about GTA like, hey, GTA 5, better graphics. So I was expecting, like I said, slap a bitch in HD or, something like that. I didn't realize it was going to be, there was going to be more to it, I guess I would say.
Yeah, what you just said it to me is what I felt like when they were marketing it originally. They were just marketing it on their own laurels. They were like, "Hey, we're Grand Theft Auto. Buy the game because you will." And and then they finally put out something that's kind of different. Now you could have co-op missions. You could do the missions co-op on the game, but yeah, it seems different because I watched him play, and it's more strategy. You really got to work together. It's like you can't really, and he just seems to be having a blast with it. I think you're right. It's more Destiny kind of thing. It's that whole thing in gaming where we're just trying to be so communal, but it actually seems to work. And maybe it actually works so well because Grand Theft Auto is the opposite of that within the game. So it's
Yeah.
maybe in a way because they split it, it's only made Heist have bigger sales. Because if it was part of the game, we would probably be desensitized to it. We wouldn't have anything to contrast it against. So yeah, I mean, I can see the good and bad of it. Anyways, it came out. Those of you who don't have it, who have GTA, I'm sure you actually know about it by now. This is how far behind we are, but we figured we should talk about it.
School us, young guys. Let us know. Old guys, let us know what it's all about.
Yeah, I mean, my brother seems to have a blast. I'm so tempted to actually go buy the game to play this one little thing, which is pretty funny to me. I usually don't do that. But anyways, we continue on. Another new game that just came out, Battlefield Hardline, which we had a great time. Well, I had a great time watching Ender Rage quit the beta.
Yeah, I'm gonna refer to that game now as the new gen ashiest game of the console generation. I don't know. That game is ashy. That game it looks like it should be on PS3, like in its first year out. That's what it looks like to me. I mean, granted, that was a beta. Maybe they found some lotion, put it all over that game. I don't know.
I've never heard that ashy game. I think that's gonna be like the new thing. I'm gonna use that when we write articles.
The graphics are just blah. I don't know. I'm not even like a huge like the graphics need to be awesome kind of guy, but I mean, damn, give me something.
Well, when you're kind of spoiled to what the PS4 is capable of, and then you still see people not pushing it a bit, you do kind of get like, come on, man, like you gotta.
Yeah, you've been touting this game for a year now, and I play it, and I feel like I'm playing Counter-Strike on a not that powerful PC.
Yeah, it does look a little ashy. I'll agree. It does need some lotion. I'm excited because I'm just a Battlefield like fanboy, and I didn't think I would be, but I've had nothing but good experiences playing them. Now I didn't play Battlefield 4. I didn't really like that one, but beyond that, all the other Battlefields I've played, even Battlefield 2, I had a blast playing it with people. My issue though is, as time goes on, I want more. Like when I was playing the beta, they only gave you like 2 levels. I get that, it was a beta. But it just felt like the same thing over and over again. It's like when I played Call of Duty. After a certain point, it's fun, and you go, I'm tired. Like, it's a personal opinion, I'm just kind of tired of playing the same game. Like, I don't want just cops and robbers. I want something different. And I don't want laser beams. I want like a different game, but that still has a Battlefield feel. I don't know. It's just I want more options. I guess I want more things to do.
Well, if it's a different game, is it really still the same? Is it gonna have a Battlefield feel?
See, this is the problem. This is the easy out for me as someone who can complain about something. I don't have to define exactly why I dislike something. I just be like, I don't like it. So your question was very valid, but I don't really have an answer. Like, I couldn't tell you what I want the game to do. I just know I want it to be different.
I don't want it to do what it's doing.
Yeah, it's such a cop out. It's an ashy response. It's such an ashy response. My response needs more lotion, but I just want something different. So this is probably why they don't make it different, because they listen to that and they go, that's the best you can do? Like, that's your actual concrete idea that you can offer us for how to improve the game is, can you do something better with more lights and bubbles? Like, I'm pretty sure that's what I just came off like.
Can you fix it, but like change everything, but not the stuff that I like?
Yeah,
but you never actually say what you like.
Yeah, can you fix it? And they go, fix what? And you go, can you fix it? And like that's how it was. Like, I can't even define like the basis. We'll move on. Anyways, I'm still probably gonna get it. I don't know if I want to get it for 60, because when I played the beta, it just didn't feel anything unique. Also, I've always had bad experiences with EA servers, like on any of their games that they publish. Or whatever. EA servers suck. Maybe because they have too many games and not enough servers. Probably actually what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, they probably don't take care of the servers well.
I think they're just overloaded with like too many games. I mean, because you gotta remember, EA also has the browser games. They're everywhere, like Ubisoft. There's too many things. But Battlefield Hardline is out. If you love Battlefield, I'm sure you'll like it. We're gonna have a review up for it on theordinarygamer.com soon enough. In the meantime, we'll move on. Man, I'm so rusty. I'm like so out of rhythm on how to do this show. Uh, you can I'm like
You're doing
stuttering.
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
My heart doesn't feel right. Like I don't feel. Either that, or I'm having a stroke. I don't know which one's going on, but I think I'm okay. Uh, Nintendo NX, which is their new next gen console. I think you know more about it than I do. I know it's a new next gen console.
Well,
What do you know about the Nintendo?
well, let me start at the beginning. Nintendo announced that they're going to be partnering with an online mobile game, well, not online mobile, a mobile game company. When I say that, I mean like cell phone games. When I say mobile games, not like DS games or 3DS games. They're going to be making Nintendo IP games specifically for that. So it's not like they're going to like just make Mario Party, the graphics, dumb down the graphics and throw it on a cell phone. They're going to make games specifically for cell phones. So they're not going to rehash the games they've already put out, supposedly. I don't know if that means they're not going to put out a Mario 3 on a cell phone or not. I'm guessing they probably would, but they're saying right now that they're not doing that. So they announced that, and they've been getting pushed to do that for a while now, to go to mobile games to make some money. But they've been Iwata, the president of Nintendo, has been pushing against that. That's not a good idea. I agree, it's not a good idea, but I'll get to that in a minute. So they announced that, and he didn't want people to think that they were getting out of the hardware market, the console market, basically. So he said that he was officially announcing that they were already working on their dedicated gaming platform, is what he called it. So he didn't call it a console, so that worries me. I don't know. With a Nintendo, you never know. But he said they're working on a dedicated gaming platform that they're calling the NX. And so at this point, you got to break it down, because it doesn't actually say it's their home console. You just kind of that's the assumption that he leaves out there. But it could be a mobile console, like the new 3DS or something like that. But they just dropped literally what they're calling the new 3DS. So I don't see it being a mobile console. But a lot of people have been speculating that it's going to be half mobile, half home console. Like you can plug it into your TV, or you can unplug it and then walk around with it, which I think it sounds cool when you say it, but it's stupid, because you can't. Something like that is not going to have great graphics. Something like that's not going to get, EA and Activision and not Naughty Dog, obviously, but all these AAA third-party developers are not going to make a game for that, because that's probably going to be. I'd be surprised if it's as powerful as a Wii U. It's not even going to be as powerful as the Wii U, if you ask me. So then you're back to the point of you're playing these great Nintendo IPs, occasional indie games that are good. But no third-party AAA games. No, it's basically what the Wii U is now, and that's the whole reason they're struggling now, is because they're trying to do something. They're trying to go against the grain with the Wii U, and poor marketing, and then just a stupid strategy. They made a console that other developers can't develop for. So it's just annoying to see them trying. It looks like they're doing. Like there's a good chance they're doing the exact same thing. And then he said something about challenging. Nintendo's going to challenge themselves to redefine what a Nintendo platform means. I'm like, why are we reinventing the wheel here? We know it works. PS4 works, Xbox One works. Do that. Could you imagine something that's as powerful as a PS4 or more, that can play all of the AAA third-party games that we play, and you could play like Mario, Zelda, all the Metroid, and then have those being. Imagine a Metroid that's like, if PS4 made a Metroid, if Sony made a Metroid, how awesome would it be? That's the way Nintendo needs to start looking at things. Instead, they're looking at it like, how am I going to get that cell phone Candy Crush player to? How am I going to grab their attention so they'll buy this console? And that person's not going to. That person's going to buy it if you sell it to a super casual gamer like that. They might buy it like the Wii, the original Wii, and then they'll play that game that came with it. What was it? Wii Sports, and then never buy another game for that stupid thing again.
Mm-hmm.
That was the problem. That was the problem with Wii. With Wii, tons and tons of people bought it, and then nobody was buying the software.
Yeah. Because it ran out. It ran out immediately. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And
here's
that's the problem with all of that speculation. It's all speculation.
Yeah. And I will what I'm about to say with the fact that we don't know if anything of what you said is true, but you're a very well-informed guy, and I take what you're saying to be an informed opinion. And I'll just go ahead and talk. For me, I think Nintendo's problem is that you're right. At a certain point, you got to ask yourself exactly what are you doing. You keep wasting money to create a new console, but your new console doesn't actually do anything well. I mean, it does things well, but it doesn't really do any. It doesn't ever really redefine anything. It doesn't really.
Exactly.
It feels like you're actually kind of wasting time because you won't make something that's solid like a PS4 and then say and this. Like you don't have a solid basis. They don't have a solid basis for what they want to do. The only basis they have is Mario. That's what's so backwards about it to me. Is their basis for everything they do is the hardware doesn't matter right now. We still have Mario and Zelda, and so we're gonna build whatever. So it's like it's an opposite launching point. Whereas PlayStation 4, while they have franchises, they still go hardware first. We want a powerful system. We want this this type of graphics. We want to have this type of lifespan. We want to have this and this and this, and then the games. And I know a lot of people think that's wrong because they're not the games should come first, but the games are coming first because now they have a more powerful system to be built upon. You're giving them a solid basis. PlayStation is giving you a solid foundation for your games. Nintendo seems like every time now I admire their desire to want to innovate. I'll use that term. But at what point are you innovating or are you just trying to capture a new market? Like innovation to me creates a new market. Nintendo is not creating a game like they're not creating the gaming market. The market is already there. And they're just trying to recapture it, which is never going to lead to innovation. That's going to lead to explosion because that's what Microsoft does notoriously. Is they'll see a market that they didn't invent and they go, how can we try to capture that market? Which to me is just petty. But here's a great example. Before smartphones, there was no smartphone market. Now there's but then the iPhone came out. Smartphone is the way to go. That's innovation because they created a market. That's what innovation is. Yeah. Innovation is not redefining a market or reinventing the wheel, as you say, or doing all this bull crap. Innovation, Nintendo, is creating a new market. You're not creating the casual gaming market. Innovation was the web browser games. Innovation was the Facebook games. Zynga innovated the way you could look at gaming. Even though I know you disagree with what that you call that a game. We disagree on if that's a game or not. But we won't go into that. God, we will not go into that. But that's a great episode for anybody who wants to watch it. I think it's episode 1 actually. We talk about it. Feel free to go back and listen to Ender's elitist. Well, a lot of people consider an elitist opinion on it, but we won't go into that.
It's just common sense. But yeah,
we'll continue. Nintendo, they have great games, but they're not. It's starting to look like insanity.
It seems like to me that they're going against the grain for the sake of going against the grain. I don't know if they don't think that they can do whatever Sony and Xbox are doing as well or better. I don't see how they couldn't, but maybe they think, well, that's their market. We don't want to get in their market because Reggie from Nintendo has said before that they don't see Xbox and PlayStation as their competitors. I'm like, you make a gaming console and they make a gaming console. You sell first-party software, they sell first-party software. How is that not your direct competitor? You know?
Until you actually create that marketplace that you in your mind think that you are doing. That's the thing. Like I think that's what they want. I think they want to innovate. They want to create a new market, and they want to not redefine. They want to define something new that's beyond gaming. But that's a great ethereal concept. But there's no actual concrete plan. You go, I want to if this is like the kid who wakes up and goes, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna redefine I'm gonna innovate shoes. And you go, okay, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna dream. I'm gonna push hard. It's like, okay, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna give 110%. You know, I'm gonna like work out every day. It's like, okay, hold on. What are you going to do? Like, you don't actually have a real plan. You have a lot of. It's like that. It's like a person who can't sing, and then they go up and they try out on like one of the singing shows, and when they lose, they go, "But I gave all my heart," and Hunter, it's like, well, you didn't actually. What did you do? You didn't actually like sing. You didn't. You just yelled, or you just, you thought you were doing like. At a certain point, you gotta like define what you really want and what you really are. And you also got to remember, greatness does not mean different. Different means different. You can be great but have similar qualities to other people. The same height as somebody, or the same hair color, or the same personality. Greatness is a different thing. And does Nintendo want to be different or great? Or do they want to be both? And they got to somehow merge the two with a real concrete plan. Because what it looks like to me is, like I was mentioning earlier, is insanity, which is, I think, the cliche, the platitude of insanity is, I think, is when you repeat the same process over and over again, expecting a different outcome. And what you just said when you were going through everything you were talking about is, it's just like the Wii U, it's just like the Wii, it's just like this and just like that. I go, yeah, it sounds like insanity. They keep doing the same process over and over again, expecting a different outcome. It's like, what? You need to stop, and you need to look at yourself and go, what do you really want?
Two things that I'll add to that before we leave it is one good thing, one thing bad. The good thing is that they had the common sense this time to not name the damn thing a Wii 2 or whatever. NX, at least you know the difference between a fucking Wii and a Wii 2, a Wii U. I still know people that don't know, and they're out there, that don't know that Nintendo has. I think the Wii U is just like the slim version of the Wii. They don't really realize that that's a completely different console. Mm-hmm. And that's frustrating. It's annoying. Like, they named the 3DS, and now they have the new 3DS. How many parents you think are going to go out on Christmas and buy a new 3DS game for their kid that has a 3DS, and then it's going to be like, why isn't this game working? This is ridiculous. It's stupid. And then the good thing is that they named it something different. The bad thing is that they're going to be making Nintendo games for mobile phones. Now, what is Nintendo's moneymaker right now? Their 3DS and their DSi, or whatever it is. And it's a mobile console, and now they're going to make mobile games for mobile phones. They're shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, why would you carry a 3DS and your mobile phone when you could just carry your mobile phone? You know what I mean?
Well, what if the Nintendo NX, and this is what I love about this, we can have as many what ifs as we want. And you just said something to me that I thought was really interesting. You said, you already have the 3DS, why have a mobile phone? What if the NX is everything you said all in one? What if the NX is actually a mobile phone that's also a handheld gaming system that also plugs into your TV and becomes a big console? And it also is a blender, and and a GPS, and a girlfriend. Now, I'm just saying,
if it'll hold my beer, then I might buy one. Other than that, like if it's like a miniature kegerator, I'll buy it. But
the Nintendo Buddy is what they're gonna call it.
Yeah. I still don't see the point because, like, let's say it's a cell phone and a gaming device that you can plug into your TV. What about when your phone rings and you're playing it on your TV? You know what I mean? Or you still can't. You still can't put out the graphics on a PS4 and that you could on a cell phone, or vice versa. You can't put out PS4 graphics on a cell phone. You know what I mean?
Well, what if it doesn't have graphics at all? What if actually it's a mind implantation chip that they put into your mind and you imagine the graphics?
You got VR? Fuck your VR. We got just reality.
the Nintendo NX is just an empty picture frame that you hold out to the world. And it's like, there you go. It's anything you want. High def reality. There's a cloud. Look how real that cloud looks. Because you're just a crazy guy with a picture frame walking around looking at everything. And then you poke at it. Like, that's I wonder, but it's also interesting. The one genius thing, as you talked about with their marketing with the Wii U, the one genius thing about this NX is now they're hyping it by giving you nothing about it. Think about how good that is in terms of marketing, to just be like, NX. And that's it. And it's like a beautiful girl with like her lips, and she goes, NX. and that's it. It's like a super sleek, like German type like commercial. It's 15 seconds. It's just NX. Doesn't show you the game. Doesn't show you those consoles. Doesn't show you anything. And you go, what is that? I'm so intrigued. And that might be the best thing going for it is its mystery. The Nintendo NX is just the most mysterious thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that so now we don't know what it could be, and that means it could be anything, which is a good and a bad thing. Because it might be overhyped.
Obviously, with Sony gave you like something blank that you didn't know what they were going to sell you. You would be, if it was Sony, you'd be excited, like, oh, cool, what is it? What it's going to be. When it's Nintendo now, you tend to be kind of pessimistic, like, oh crap, what are these guys doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Are they going to fuck it up now? Maybe they'll surprise you then.
But I mean, there is still a part of me in the pit of my stomach. Maybe because I'm an older guy. See, I don't know how it works on these newer kids because to them, Nintendo is the Wii. That's how far back it is now. Where people, their first interaction with Nintendo was they made the Wii, and that system sucked. And then they go drink a Mountain Dew and like high five each other. Like that's what the kids are now. For us, Nintendo was the Nintendo and the NES. And we were like, that was the system. Like people after Atari. The Nintendo was the console. It was the console. It was console gaming. It was the only console game. It felt like.
Yeah.
Then they had the Sega and they had the NES.
What a loser.
But like the Nintendo was Nintendo, and I'm talking it was massive. It was. There's a reason it can afford now to screw up and still not go bankrupt because it has made so much money. And then it made the Nintendo 64, which still was actually really massive. PlayStation just happened to beat them out on the next round with the PlayStation 2. But
funny little tidbit: did you know that PlayStation was supposed to be a part of Nintendo?
Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah,
a disc-based console together, and at the very last second, Nintendo screwed them and just blackballed them basically. And Sony was like, "Fuck it, we'll make our own console then." And then now they're probably a good part of the reason that Nintendo is where Nintendo is. Yeah, it's funny when you think about that.
And it's really funny to think that if they worked together and had they actually had a beneficial relationship, how amazing would it have been? Like what we would be playing now would probably be amazing, or they would have gotten really 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 like resting on their laurels, and this is the one thing about capitalism I will give, because there is no competition. We would probably just have like a basic console that maybe not as good. We don't know. Xbox would have actually became a real competitor, like a real competitor where you go, oh, they're redefining, whatever. We all know Xbox is just like trying to milk. But anyways, we won't go into that. But yeah, I did hear. I think I saw a documentary about gaming, and I think I heard that, which I was so fascinated. Because I didn't know that either, because I was really young when all that was happening. I didn't understand the business side of it yet. All I understood was there's the PlayStation, and then you have Gex the Gecko on it. That's all I remembered. But anyways, to you young guys, Nintendo was massive, and they used to be a cool company. Like when you heard Nintendo, you thought they're cool. Like Nintendo was not, doesn't have the kind of connotation of like crazy lame. Like I think they're coming off as just kind of like the old feeble guy in the room waving his cane, and like everyone kind of feels bad for him because he can't really eat his applesauce, and you go, oh man, like you don't really point and laugh at him because you know that he was once like a fighter pilot in World War II, but now he's like crazy, and like what I mean, like you don't want to like be a jerk. You're like, well, I got to respect him, he is Grandpa Nintendo, but at the same time he is Grandpa Nintendo. That's the problem, and now Sony comes in. Sony's like more middle aged now. Xbox is just like your idiot bro, honestly, who just comes in. It's like, I'm totally gonna do it too. Look how great I am, and he's never really that good. He's the guy who thinks he's really good at everything he does. But I don't know. I mean, we don't know what the NX could be. It could be really fascinating. I'm excited. I know a group of people who are excited. Australia, the NX, which is just a concept, has already had pre-sales at EB Games in Australia, which is just amazing to me that people in Australia obviously don't just have money to just throw at anything. Apparently, they don't care what it is. Like, I'm gonna start crapping in a can, to use my favorite metaphors. I'm gonna start like crapping in a can and just call it something and say it's available for pre-sale in Australia, and I'll make $1 million before I ever even produce it, because that'll be great.
Dude,
like,
just kickstart it. Kickstart shit in a can, and see how much money you make, just for the fuck of it, you know.
it's just I
Like,
should.
yeah, I mean, $200,000 just shit in a can.
Australian.
I'll record it, let everybody watch.
I don't know what the Australian unit of currency is, but I need whatever they have. I need 200,000 of that. So, because apparently they love in Australia. I thought that was interesting, but that also tells me the marketing maybe does work. Maybe the mystery of it is one of the few things people go, huh? And maybe because it's the first time Nintendo didn't just come in like, look what we're doing. Because, you know, to be kind of fair, while they've been kind of mysterious in the past, they kind of just put it out there. They're kind of like, here we go, here's the thing. You know, they want you to get excited. Now they're kind of like, we don't care if you get excited at all. So maybe this arrogant kind of like whatever is good for them. You know, maybe that's how they need to redefine themselves. Yeah, I mean, you're already trying everything. You might as well try everything more. Like you're already there. But anyways, we'll move on from Nintendo.